Hey guys, so it seemed at least four of you, when I last checked my post, wanted to see a profile of my evil swarms, so that I thought that was good enough for me. And maybe there'll be some more likes later. I don't know, but I kind of felt like doing the video anyway, so yeah. Yes, I have cloud card sleeves and a cloud mat. Pretty sick. So, without further ado, let's get on with my deck profile. Alright, so three casters, obviously. Great guy, great guy. Can't be negated by cards like Effect Veiler or Breakthrough Skill or Fiendish Chain. Can only be negated if my opponent has like skill drain on the field before he comes onto play, so really good card. Great for Exceed summoning. Then we have three Kirkians. Obviously, banish, add a Evilswarm monster in your graveyard to your hand, normal summon again, more Exceed power. Very good card, very good card. Then we got your Cyber Dragon for the deck, basically. Mandragora, run 3. And what's cool about this guy is that if your opponent controls like 3 monsters and you control no monsters, you can special summon 2 of him, and bing bada boom, Exceed summon. Then we got 3 Heliotropes. Good card for Rescue Rabbit and your Infection Search. And 1950 attack isn't too bad at all. Then we got 2 Thunderbirds. I only run 2 because I find running 3 might slow the deck down and it could lose consistency, but I highly recommend running 2 because he's a guy that you can basically always have on the field as long as you don't try to use his effect during the damage step, which I came to find out the hard way. But oh well, still a great card. Still a great card. That concludes the Evilswarms. Now for other support monsters. 2 Effect Veiler. I prefer Effect Veiler over Fiendish Chain and Breakthrough because he's both a negate and he's a tuner monster, so I like it. Then we got Tour Guide ×2. Use Tour Guide mainly for wind-up Zen mains and Lyvar the Sea Dragon. Lyvar is good for getting a negated Rescue Rabbit back, or like one of your Kirkian banished monsters, so he's good. I'm currently using Flying Sea because, one, I seem to have lost my extra Maxi. I'll probably find it though, but still. Flying Sea's a good card to stop Exceed summons, so I like him. I like him. Rescue Rabbit for Heliotrope. And then Dark Arm Dragon. Good card, actually. It sometimes screws me over, but I find more often than not he's a good guy to have around, because he's actually level 7, so I'm definitely going to put Scrap Dragon and Stardust and Crimson Blader in here when I get them, and more Synchro Power with Effect Veiler. Great guy to have. He also works good for your Allure of Darkness if you have too many darks in your grave. Going on to spells, 3 Pandemics, obviously. Great card to combo with Safe Zone if, like, your Ophian has Safe Zone equipped. Pandemic can make it so he can still attack directly if you need just one attack per game, and can also make it so Safe Zone won't destroy Ophion as well. So, great card to have. 2 MSTs for your all-purpose destroying those pesky back row cards, like popping Fate before they have a chance for them to use it on what they want or whatever, but MST is definitely a must with Heavy gone. Then Allure of Darkness, extra draw power card. Dark Hole, obviously. Book of Moon, another good negate card or all-purpose card if you ask me. Good card. And Rhoda. Search out caster and all that good stuff. Moving on to traps. Call of the Haunted, I'd prefer to have XYZ Reborn, but beggars can't be choosers, and besides, Call works great with Kirkian, so I'm okay. D-Prison. Solemn. Mirror Force. Bottomless. Compulse. Torrental. And all of those are basically stop your opponent's big monsters from getting onto the field, and they come in quite handy. Then your search card, Infestation Infection, great for searching out any Evilswarm monster you need, and it's just a really good card to have. I only use one because I find more often than not I will draw it, or I'll just get Ophion to add it to my hand. And then 2 safe zones. I only run 2 because 1, this is a very expensive card, and also I find running 3 would be ridiculous, and I wouldn't say overpowered, but I'd just say overcautious maybe. But Safe Zone works great. Your opponent destroys it face down with an MST, you activate it on one of their monsters and pop one of their monsters. Great card. Who would have thought? Alright, that concludes the main deck. Moving on to extra deck. 2 Ophions. I find I really only need 2. I guess I could run 3. Maybe you guys could help me out on that, but Ophion is the big hitter of the deck, so he's a must. 2 Bahamut's, great take control card. I like him. I really do. At the cost of a detach and a discard, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Imagine what you can take control of. Draco Sag, I've taken control of. I've taken control of High Priestess, Big Eye, all sorts of good stuff. 2 Ouroboros. I actually don't like this guy as much as I used to because I found out the hard way you can only use you can only use each of his effects once, but you know, it's a good guy to have around, you know. 1 Nightmare, basically another Book of Moon on your opponent's special summons and stop exceed / synchros, so I figure why not. Evilswarm Thantos, or however you pronounce his name. I don't actually use this guy very often, but I figured he's kind of like Omega in the constellar form, so, there's probably better guys I could use. If you guys have any suggestions, I'll probably take this guy out, but for now, that's what I'm using. Then, guys that aren't Evilswarms, Gaga Cowboy. Great card for your opponent's high attack monsters, or if you just need to get rid of those few pesky life points, then he's a good card to have around. Roach, another stopper of monster summoning, which is good to have. So, figure no harm done. Livar, get back your Rescue Rabbit or your Kirkian banished monster, and boom, another Exceed summon. So, good guy to have. Zenmains, good popper of cards, and he's a good stall card too, I've come to find, so I like him. And then last but not least, Cataster. I've found I also don't use this guy very often, but, I have Effect Veiler and a bunch of level 4 monsters, so I figured can't hurt. And plus, with Dad in there, as I said, I'm probably going to add a Crimson Blader, Scrap Dragon, and a Stardust when I get them. So, yeah. And that, my friends, is my deck. So, like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. I think I did a pretty decent job on my deck. It's won me quite a few duels. And it's not perfect, but, what deck is. And yes, I do side Eradicator for spellbooks and all that good stuff. And I'm also going to side Prohibition. I'll side Flying Sea once I find my Max Sea, wherever it could be. And, and Iron Imprisoned Wall would definitely be a card to side once I get a hold of it. And, yeah, so that's my deck profile. Thanks.